Hey everyone, so we are in the final recap of ADL Season 3. If you have not seen the previous two videos on this ADL season, feel free to check them out in the links down below in the description. This video will be covering the 5th and final week of ADL, and let's see if we make the cutoff for playoffs or we just miss it. As I mentioned in my last video, it's a super tight race for that 4th and final spot for the playoffs in my division between myself, Arrow, Speedy's Chief, and Valor Ash as well. So let's get into the battles and see how we do. Alright, going into the first set, it is against House Stark. He is pretty much top of the Ash division, so luckily I only have to face him once because he's a really great battler and he is also killing it this season ADL. So he does bait me with Bone Club right there, which is kind of unfortunate. What I probably should have done is maybe thrown a move on my Raichu first. I don't know. I knew that Lapras was my best check to Marowak right here, but I was also yeah, I don't know. I guess he wouldn't have gone to Shadow Mode anyway if I threw a move early. But unfortunately, we are both down and out of shields at the moment. And so let's see. I do maintain switch advantage after spending 2 shields, but I do have to worry about this Jirachi. And then now, unfortunately, the Stunfisk is actually going to be really deadly towards both my Toxicroak and my Raichu. So in a bad spot. My Raichu is also running double electric charge moves, so it has pretty much nothing to threaten the Stunfisk with. Yeah, he has a very strong team, and when you give a really good player a really strong team, it's not going to be a good time. So as you can see right here, despite having a okay lead, it just didn't work out so well. Look at that wild charge, doing almost nothing to the Stunfisk. Even if I took it out, there's still a whole Jirachi in the back. So not off to the best start. This is not a great lead either for me, so I'm going to swap straight away to my Lapras here. It's probably going to be Discharge, and I'm going to... I thought we CMP there, but unfortunately not, but that's fine. I do get to Skull Bash, so I should be able to force out another shield here, and I do, or 1 shield. Victini, as you saw in previous battles with Valor Ash, does pretty solid against Abomasnow, but Shadow, or this is regular Bomb, so it's not as bad, but it's still going to hurt a bit. So he actually does throw this move correctly because he definitely can't farm me down with Powder Snows. And then here comes Victini. I'm hoping to just farm as much energy here as possible. And as you can see, I'm spamming away at the Dragonair, and here comes the Jirachi. So not good. These Dragon Breaths are resisted, and yeah, it's just not going to be a good time for me. I think I choose not to shield here. Maybe I should have because I was at the Aqua Tail. But how am I going to deal with the Stunfisk, right? There's really nothing I could do here. So I'm just going to let this Doomstar go. It's resisted, but there's nothing I could do. Because the whole Stunfisk in the back. That Stunfisk is giving me problems. I brought 2 checks through this time with Lapras and Dragonair, but just not good enough. Unless I match with Whimsicott. Alright, so I win a lead. So at least there's that, and then here comes a Jirachi. Unfortunately, I didn't really bring a good Jirachi check. Is Lapras a Jirachi check? I don't know. I don't really think so because it's doing resisted damage with these ice shards, and you can see I'm dying to fight for switch advantage here just because I really cannot have this Jirachi matched up against my Toxicroak. And so luckily I do win switch there, but here's the problem. This Empoleon is just going to farm me down, and they're going to have a, what do you call it, Drill Peck ready for me. So as you can see here, this is going to one-shot my Toxicroak, unfortunately. And yeah, it's been not a good time for me, one could say that. And this Drill Peck is still going to do super effective damage as well. And then here comes the Stunfisk, which at this health, Whimsicott has no play against. So yeah, really well played by House Stark throughout this entire set. Really stood no chance. So off to week 5 with an 0-3 loss. Battles won and battles lost do count as well for tiebreakers, so winning each battle is very important. So even if I lose, I want to lose 1 and 2, not 0-3. But all right, going against Toshi, another player from the other division, so my first time battling him. What I realized is my team is actually really, my Toxicroak is actually really solid against this whole team. Maybe not Dragonite, but Dragonite I didn't think he was gonna bring just because it's quite weak to a lot of Pokemon on my team. But yeah, so it's Toxicroak, as you see, does pretty well. Winning switch advantage with that charm lead is pretty solid as well. And so this Whimsicott's going to start charming down. Even if it's a return, I'm not too worried. And then here comes the Melmetal. So this is actually kind of tricky here because I'm going to debuff myself to take this out. And this Rock Slides are super effective. So I do tank the first one before I debuff myself because the debuffs are... I won't be able to tank a Rock Slide after debuffing myself with V-Create. So I'm going to have the double shield here. Unfortunate, but this is going to hopefully force out double shields from him as well, because otherwise I could just charm down the Sableye. He does get a Thunder Shock through, which is not great, but yeah, so it's kind of a race to the next charge move. So I actually do swap because I thought he was going to beat me to the charge move anyway, and even if he doesn't, the thing is he needs to throw a Rock Slide to take out my Whimsicott anyway, so he has to spend the energy, and I just barely get to the V-Create. Victini pulling through for me once again in this final week. Alright, so going into the second match, this is what I want to see. Lapras is solid against Sableye, and I want to get rid of that Sableye just so I have my Toxicroak for it. But I did bring Alolan Raichu this time because I figured Alolan Raichu has more play against Melmetal than Victini does, just because I don't have to worry about the Rock Slides nearly as much. And yeah, Alolan Raichu, you don't have to... yeah, I could just go probably straight Thunder Punch in a lot of situations. Alright, so I do draw a shield from the Sableye. So now I'm actually at a shield advantage and switch advantage, which is huge. And then I'm going to shield. This might be a return, so I'm going to just shield it. It's going to be a foul play, but that's fine. And then I get to this next Surf. This is going to be good. I'm hoping that there's a Melmetal in the back. So at this point, I think I'll probably just let this foul play go, just because even Toxicroak can kind of counter this thing down. So that's actually what I'm going to do right here. And then I'm going to shield this just in case it's... Even a foul play will do a decent amount. And if it's Melmetal, I'm in business. And it is Melmetal. Even if it was Dragonite, I'd be fine because I could drop the Sludge Bomb and then Ice Shard it down with my Lapras. And this is probably going to be Superpower. But it's not going to be enough to take out Toxicroak. We CMP there, but... or maybe it's like a false CMP because technically Toxicroak should win, but it's all good. Alright, so I do win that set, and we're going to battle number 3. Great lead to see. And then he brings in Sableye, and then I bring in my Whimsicott. Whimsicott just charm it down. The thing is, even if he goes return here, I don't mind losing Switch, because the Sableye is really the biggest thing that threatens my team. So, my Toxicroak, so I'm just going to counter it down here and finish with a bunch of energy. This way I don't get farmed too much with the... Melmetal against my Whimsicott and still be down to shield too, right? So I do bait with the Mud Bomb and then go straight Sludge Bomb next. I'm going to shield because this Toxicroak is going to be very valuable to me. And then he actually swaps straight to Melmetal. I can't remember if I swapped to my Lapras first or he swapped. It was simultaneous swap. I don't know. But technically I should have just stayed in if he swapped in first. But this is fine. I'm just going to get rid of my Lapras and chip away at this Melmetal. He's probably going to have to shield this if he wants to. Yeah, he does shield it. But the thing is, he needs to throw because I will get to my next Surf. And then I could just counter this down. And yeah, as you see, I got one counter through. So the Superpowers are going to debuff him quite a bit. And then he's probably going to try to go for another one, but he's not able to get to Superpower fast enough. So do go 3-0 in that one. So hopefully help even out my record a little bit. I apologize for any noise in the background. My cat is digging at the litter box. Okay, so going against ShinyHunterBen. Again, this is our second time battling each other. And I do safe swap my Victini right here and go straight Psychic. Drawing out this Diggersby is really nice because now my Alolan Raichu will have a lot of play in the back end. So yeah, so he brings in his Charizard right here. And it's probably okay. He goes straight Blast Burn. Surprisingly, I survive it somehow. But my switch timer is a little bit misaligned with this, which is nice. And then here comes his Diggersby again. I'm going to just double Wild Charge here. Obviously, it's going to be resisted, but I'm just going to try to debuff myself. He actually shields it. Maybe he thought it was a Grass Knot. That would make sense. But yeah, as you can see, doing pretty much no damage there. And then he does throw a move right here. He probably could just farm me down, actually, but he doesn't know what I have in the back here, so he probably doesn't want to take too much damage. And I'm going to bring in my Dragonair, and then here comes a Cresselia here. And then I quickly swap to my Victini. Maybe I should have swapped to it sooner, just so he doesn't have a move ready. Yeah, unfortunately, this is probably going to be a Moonblast, and it's going to take me out. Yeah, so I probably should have swapped to it a little bit sooner, maybe. I don't know. Or maybe I should have dropped a move on my Dragonair. So, tough first game, but really well played. And then he comes in with the Charizard safe swap here. And then I'm going to bring in my Dragonair. It's non-stab Dragon Claw, so I'm not too worried about that. I don't mind losing switch advantage here if I do, because actually no, I guess I'm not going. I'm going to try to win it. Yeah, I'll win it with a little bit of health left, which is fine, because it'll just give the second Pokemon less to farm off of. It's probably going to be, my guess is maybe, it's going to be Primeape. And then we come with my Victini again, and then here comes Mantine. It's a wing attack Mantine, so it's going to do some damage here instead of Bubble doing resisted, but he goes straight Bubble Beam. Interesting. So I'm going to go straight Skull Bash. No big deal. I'm not really worried about any of these charge moves, to be honest, unless he's running Aerial Ace, but I guess he's running Bubble Beam and Ice Beam for better coverage. But yeah, so this Lapras is going to do a lot of damage here. I'm going to just try to farm this thing down so I have a Surf ready for the Primeape as well. It looks like he's trying to debuff me as soon as possible. But I actually do swap to my Victini instead. This is going to be a nice slash. Does a decent amount of damage, but not enough. And then I'm going to throw a V-Create. I don't want to charge 2 back-to-back because the counters aren't really going to take me out here. So I'm not too worried about debuffing myself. So he does throw another nice slash. I have the Surf ready. And this Mantine is not going to have much play against my Lapras, especially with the shield still. So I do take out, and we're going into the game, the match-deciding game number 3. Ooh, terrible lead for me. He comes in with Lickitung. It's really cool to see like variety that he's bringing. He's brought he's brought every single Pokemon in his roster against my team so far. He goes straight for the Power Whip. I'm gonna go straight for the Skull Bash and see what happens. He does shield. All right, so we match shields, and then I'm going to start surfing away. I don't want to go for 2 Skull Bash at this point. But at this point, I really want to win switch because Toxic is not great against Cresselia. Even though it's not running Confusion, it's still very bulky and resist Toxic counter damage. Alright, so as you can see, the Skull Bash coming in handy because it's able to resist these body slams. And I win switch still with the shield remaining too, which is huge. I'm going for this last Surf to do some chip damage. I do still have the Victini in the back, and Victini is going to resist all of Cresselia's charge moves. All of his moves in general, which is really nice. And then here comes the Diggersby. This is perfect. I have good alignment now, and I still have a switch. I still have a shield, so I'm not even too worried here. I am going to just shield. No, I don't shield it because it's just Fire Punch. And then I think I shield the second one. Yeah, it's gonna be another Fire Punch. That's fine. I want to finish off with some energy, just because I don't really want the Victini to have to deal with this Diggersby. And then I have a Sludge Bomb ready. Yeah, so calling the first Fire Punch was really important because otherwise you would have gone straight Earthquake. And then we go into Victini here just to prevent any additional farm. As you can see, these moves are resisted, so even a second Moonblast would not be enough. And then I can just drop a V-Create and finish off the Cresselia. Oh, actually, I have Confusion down. Alright, going into the final match of the season. It is going to be against Speedish Chief, a kind of a rematch from week number 2. And he is running that Charm Ninetales, which is very deadly. But Toxic is taking only neutral from it. And then I swap to my Dragonair, just to kind of get rid of this Dragonair as soon as possible, because I don't really want it against the Ninetales. Ninetales is actually pretty strong against my team in general, especially if I don't bring in Victini. Alright, so he comes in with the Ninetales again. I believe I probably just come in with... oh, no, I have a move here already, so that's fine. I'm going to throw that, and then he does shield, and then now I'm going to come in with my Lapras. I have no idea what's in the back yet. Hopefully it's not a Melmetal, because if it is, I'm in trouble. So it looks like I'm going to try to just Ice Shard this thing down. Yeah, he does bait first, and then I'm going to just throw these Surfs, and it's going to be a Alolan Marowak. So this is actually not great, because the Alolan Marowak will probably get to a Shadow Bone before I get to this last Surf. Yep, as you can see. And then this is going to unfortunately take me out. So well played by Speedish Chief. And let's see how we play out the second one. So this is a great lead for me. Dragonair is going to resist these moves. Although Frenzy Plant will still hit pretty hard against Dragonair. So as you can see right here, it's still half of his health. I'm going to go straight for that Dragon Pulse though, because it looks like he doesn't have really a good option to swap out here. He actually shields. So because he shields, I'm just going to let this go, because my Toxic is actually pretty strong against his team for the most part. He comes in with a Quagsire here. I am going to drop a Mud Bomb first. I probably will dip out after this. Let's see. Yeah, I tried to at least. I'm going to have the shield. It's going to be a Stone Edge, but it's Toxic. It's just way too glassy. So I'm going to charge up a little bit more energy. Actually, I just go straight for the Mud Bomb. See if we can flip this. And I do, so that's nice. And then I'm not too worried about Lapras versus Meganium, because Shadow Lapras Ice Shards will definitely hurt. And then he actually brings in Meganium here, so maybe he has a Melmetal back. Yep, and here, oh no, it's a Ninetales. That's fine. And then so Ninetales comes in, I'm going to throw a Mud Bomb and then swap to my Lapras because I'm still going to have Mud Bomb ready on my Toxicroak, which would be nice. And then yeah, this thing's going to try to charm me down. If this Weather Ball, I should survive it. And no, he's going to straight Side Shock. He knows what he's doing. I'm going to throw the Mud Bomb right here. And then yeah, if he caught the Mud Bomb, I would have been in trouble. So going into the set deciding game number 3, I kind of had a feeling he's probably going to bring in Noctowl here, which is why I decided to bring in Alolan Raichu. I'm going to take the first Rock Slide and then go for Wild Charge, but I probably should just go on Thunder Punch because the fact that he's still staying here means he's probably going to shield. So he does shield, and then I decided to let this go. Now this is probably a mistake because he actually does a great pivot to Alolan Marowak. If I shield it, I could force a second shield from it, which would be nice, but instead I'm forced to shield a Bone Club, and he still has that Melmetal in the back. So this is kind of tough for me, because if he has what I think he has in the back, I'm in trouble. But he does have a Lone Marowak as one of his backline mons, which means he probably has another Toxicroak counter as his third mon. That's weak to Alolan Raichu. So I think Alolan Raichu was a good pick by me, but I just didn't play it out well in the lead matchup. Alright, so here comes Melmetal, and then I'm going to come in and try to counter this down, but unfortunately here is the Noctowl that I was worried about seeing. Noctowl is also very, very bulky, so this Sludge Bomb is not going to be enough to take it out. And he also saw shields, and he's farming me down all the way and just able to go straight for the Sky Attack. So really well played by Speediest Chief. Ended up finishing the season on the last week with a 2-2 record, pretty much even throughout. I got 3-0, then 3-0 someone else, and then went 2-1 and 1-2. But if you look at the final standings, I just make it through to the top 4 spot with a 10-12 record. So not the best record, but I was able to secure that top 4 spot in my division, which is what qualified me for the playoffs. And I guess fortunately for me, Arrow and Speedish Chief also had a tough week as well, so it was enough to push me over to that 4th spot. So as you can see on the screen right here, it is the promo flyer for the ADL Season 3 playoffs, which is happening later today. So if you're watching this video, it's probably happening in a few hours from now, or it's happening now. So we'll see how it goes. At the very least, we're going to try to have fun and make a good show of it. I hope you all enjoy this recap of Season 3 of ADL. Be sure to visit Arrow's Twitch stream to see the playoffs, and also if you didn't catch the playoffs live, you can always check out the VODs afterward. A big shout out and thank you to all my patrons who've been supporting my content creation. If you would like to have early access to some of my strategies and lineups, or just see behind the scenes footage of my battles, feel free to sign up in the Patreon link down below. If you like this video, feel free to give it a like and share, subscribe for future content, hit that notification bell to get alerted right when I post a new video, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.